Now the conversation on conjunctivitis continues on tea or coffee this morning. Unfortunately for us, we have an expert who would be, helping us to understand the nature of conjunctivitis, Apollo, aka pink eye. We call it more Apollo in this part of the world in Nigeria. Now, Dr. Chidima Ugu is an optometrist. She's presently in private practice at and she works at Viewpoint Specialist Eye Center. Good morning, Dr. Chidima.
Good morning. I'm fine, thank you.
Very lovely to have you in the studio with us. We have been looking forward to this, having you, by the way.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So the conversation this morning we're having is on conjunctivitis. We want to understand the nature of conjunctivitis.
Okay.
And I'll start with, in secondary school, when people have Apollo, right? They usually say that if you look people in the eye, if you look at them eyeball to eyeball, you can contact it immediately. Okay. So we want to know if these things, about conjunctivitis are true, understand the nature of what pink eye really is. So let's start from a basic definition and a basic background.
Okay.
What is conjunctivitis?
Okay. Conjunctivitis, aka Apollo.
Yes.
It's aka Apollo, aka pink eye. It's basically when the white part of the eye is inflamed. It's very, very uncomfortable. It's red. Sometimes for some people it begins to water. For some people it begins to just be red, painful, And then sometimes when it gets very severe or almost severe, it's painful, and then when you look at light, it's as if you have stabbed the person in the eyes. Sometimes, yes. But basically, it's when this part of the eye is inflamed.
So why specifically the white part of the eye? So I want to understand the anatomy of the eye, right? The pupil and then the white.
Okay.
Okay, I might try.
Yeah, you are. If we start today, you shouldn't say we go finish.
Okay, all right. Let's have a basic description of the eye, so that we understand why conjunctivitis, why is the white part that is being sort of attacked?
Because it's the outer part.
Okay.
Yes. So it's obviously the first part that gets inflamed. Like I said before, when it extends to other structures, the eye, like the cornea, the part that is clear, it begins to, when it's not taken care of on time, it's even can extend from that part of the eye to another part of the eyes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so it moves essentially.
Yeah. So that's why when your eyes are red and uncomfortable and sandy, that's very gritty.
Right.
Yes, because obviously if your eyes are gritty, you're supposed to do something about it, So that's why it's good to just find a solution.
Gritty in what sense?
Like you just stay to be as if a sand in your eye when you know you didn't go outside or you didn't come in contact with any dusty environment.
Itching and things like that.
Yeah, something like that, exactly. Itching.
Okay, all right. So, now what are some of the signs and symptoms to look out for in the early stages?
Okay, so the first sign is that usually it starts on one eye before sometimes it can spread to the other eye. So once you notice it becomes very itchy and red, then sometimes at night, whoever is infected can sleep. When you sleep at night, you wake up and your lashes are gumming together. They are crusted, So, so those are the signs mostly you look out for, because these are not normal things. Yes, so once that happens, you should actually do something about it.
Okay, all right. We have a lot to learn on conjunctivitis this morning. We're going to take a very quick break. Once we return, the conversation on conjunctivitis, aka Apollo, continues. Stay tuned. You are still tuned in to Tea or Coffee this morning. The conversation we're having on the show is on conjunctivitis. We're trying to understand and learn even more, about conjunctivitis, aka Apollo, also known as pink eye. We're joined in the studio by, we are with Dr. Chidima Ogu, who will be giving us more insight into conjunctivitis. Now, before the break, we were talking about signs and symptoms of conjunctivitis, early signs and symptoms for conjunctivitis. So what are some of the early signs?
Okay, so like I said before, when it's on break, basically when you start itching your eyes uncontrollably, if it's not something that is normal.
Gritty eyes. We're talking about gritty eyes.
When it's just as if there's sand in your eyes, and there's really nothing like that. So when the eyes are red, and stuff. So these are really, and then obviously when it just starts tearing, and it's just bringing out water by itself, you use it, you clean with a tissue or a hanky. The mistake most people make is that when this thing happens, of course, they don't know that it's maybe just a small thing that could have caused this whole irritation. So that's it.
All right. So what happens when conjunctivitis goes untreated? What is the worst case scenario?
Well, let's say it goes untreated. Of course, the person will be too uncomfortable to carry out his daily or normal activities. Of course, that's what I expect to, So you're supposed to actually rest your eyes. If you decide that you don't want to use eye drops, you don't want to just do maybe a home remedy or stuff. So it will resolve by itself, most likely resolve by itself, but it might be reoccurring. Very, very reoccurring. And then it can just lead to a secondary effect of another infection that can happen in the eyes later on. So
right. So it's actually much better you treat it.
Yes, because it's just a small thing.
It's just a small thing. Right.
A small thing.
Yeah. All right. So apart from so conjunctivitis is obviously a very contagious eye infection, right? So apart from the fact that a person can actually get contact conjunctivitis from another person who has it, what are the other ways that a person conjunctivitis can be contracted?
Okay. Sometimes if you abuse certain medications, certain eye drops, and you're just using it without, prescription, then other times contact lens use.
Okay.
Yes.
This is new to me. Please go.
Contact lens use is one way that it happens, of course. It's not really a big deal. Of course, if you're a contact lens wearer and you notice your eyes are uncomfortable, the best thing, the sensible thing to do is to take it off immediately. Because I don't know if you've worn contacts before, but I have. And even a speck of dust, just if you bring it out when you bring out the lens, you might not even see it. So just imagine when it's not even there at all. So
wow. So like with things like I know with things like contact lenses, they usually come in cases that have like a little fluid. They're supposed to clean it and things like that, right? So is that still safe enough?
Well, you're supposed to like rinse the contact lens solution with the contact lens case with the solution, not with water. It's advisable to rinse with its solution. So sometimes when you go with water, your particles might be in the water if it's not clean enough. So it might lodge on the contact lens case, and then when you put your lens, same thing. And so
like when dust goes into your eye. And then, you're like, oh, I can't see. And then you ask somebody, can you blow into my eye? And you're like, is what's that like? Is that safe? Really?
Well,
because, we're talking about dust on the eye, dust on contact
the person doesn't have any.
Like all right?
As long as the person doesn't have anything that is going to harm your eye or going to, I don't know what to say, but if the person is not, especially the person has mouth odor,
Right.
hey, you don't say your own don't be.
Yeah.
But no,
To do
it's,
that.
if it's best to, well,
right.
when dust enters your eye, just blink as many times as you can. If it's not
Right.
out, yeah, you can get help.
Okay.
It'll be great.
All right. So we have some very interesting myth and facts
Okay.
surrounding conjunctivitis that we would like to check with you. You
Okay.
being the experts, right?
Well.
So on our did you know this morning we're going to be looking at some interesting myth and facts surrounding Apollo. Now, the first one is the one I actually cited, from
Yeah.
secondary school, when they say that you can you can contact it
Okay.
by looking, at somebody. So this one says it is a myth that a single look can spread the infection. Now, this myth sounds a little strange. After all, eye contact can't even spread infection in the most far-fetched zombie movies. But still, this myth persists. This particular misconception is the pet of incorrigible children and the bane of elementary school nurses. So far, medical professionals have not discovered a single disease spread
By eye
through
contact.
simple eye
contact,
contact.
no.
So, eye contact, is it possible?
It's not possible. No, it's not possible.
Where did this thing come from? Because I know I feel like it's a Nigeria. Like,
No, I don't know. I don't want to say it's in Nigeria,
Yeah.
but of course, like children will always believe like your eyes are not looking the same. Like I saw you yesterday. So if I don't look at me,
Yeah.
those kind of stuff. So kind of thing.
Yeah. What's the weather? I know before the cameras came on, we're talking about weather,
Okay.
in relation to conjunctivitis. What's the weather? What's the season for it?
Well, I wouldn't really say that there's a season or
Okay.
something, because if you're not clean enough as a person, if you don't observe personal hygiene, you will definitely be dining with it, conjunctivitis. So, most of the times, though, I think we had, very serious, okay, my eyes are red,
Yeah.
it's painful, it's itchy, it's this, it's that. So it's usually around the time where the season is dry, or the weather is dry, maybe
Right.
around the Harmattan period, when everywhere is dusty, everywhere is windy,
okay.
so you're supposed to clean as regularly as you can, of course, so that when you touch something, when you lie somewhere, when you wear stuff,
Okay.
you're not
Yeah.
recycling the whole thing.
Before the break, I told you I didn't really understand the logic of dry weather. But
Okay.
now, when you put it like that, with the dust and the wind, and obviously, when we're talking about conjunctivitis, we're
Yeah.
talking about dust in the eye, or like, dirtiness in the eye and things like that. I'm beginning to see the logic. I'm
Okay.
finally beginning to see the
Okay.
science
Okay.
behind it. All right, so let's have a look at our next did you know fact. Now, anyone can give you Apollo. That's what this one says. Now, when you encounter someone with inflamed eyes, shying away is an instinct. Some kinds of conjunctivitis are highly contagious. These forms of Apollo spread through sharing wash clothes, borrowing eye makeup, and exposing the eyes to bacteria. However, many forms of Apollo aren't contagious at all. Eye irritants like certain chemicals and seasonal allergies can cause the same pinkness. So let's, actually, the writer mentioned something very interesting, which is this thing about makeup.
Yeah.
Now, with women, I know you guys like doing your eyebrows and your lashes and mascara. Am I getting it right?
Yeah.
I'm getting it right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So, now when it comes to like sharing of makeup, makeup tools that particularly do with the eye,
Yeah.
how safe is that?
Sharing with another person? No, it's not safe now. Except you are the type that washes after every use. Most makeup artists, I know they do that, apart from the fact that while they're using, maybe they have to do this person simultaneously, they clean, wipe, so that reduces
Okay.
the effect and stuff. So it's not safe really to share anything that is personal to you. And makeup is personal to any woman, so you shouldn't.
Because there's a lot of contact with skin and eye.
Especially the fluid, the tears, the moist, that comes from your eyes.
Actually. All right. So let's get into the types of conjunctivitis.
Okay.
Right. Now, this fact actually mentioned that there are different forms of conjunctivitis. What are the different kinds of conjunctivitis that we have?
Okay, we have bacterial, which is
Okay.
like the most common,
Okay.
most common type. There's allergic conjunctivitis. There's infectious, that's infective conjunctivitis. There's keratoconjunctivitis sicca.
Sorry, say that again.
Keratoconjunctivitis is dry eyes.
Okay.
That's the short form
Thank
of
you.
keratoconjunctivitis
Let's just stick to
sicca.
dry eyes,
Okay,
please.
dry eyes. Because, like I told
Yeah.
you, one of the signs and symptoms of conjunctivitis is gritty sensation. And when
Right.
there's gritty sensation, it's a sign that, okay, your eyes are dry. They're not
Okay.
producing enough tears to take out whatever it is that is causing, So that's that. Then there's neonatal conjunctivitis. This one happens mostly in babies.
Okay.
Yeah, just to mention a few types.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. All right. So and all of these kinds are obviously contagious.
Well,
Or-
bacterial, allergic might not be.
Okay.
There's a viral. Yeah, there's a viral conjunctivitis. That one might, run its course. You treat with the viral, medication and stuff, and it will go. But it's not everyone that's necessarily contagious.
Yeah. Is
Yeah.
it now? What is the most common type? out of
That
all
should be
of
the
these
bacterial
ones?
conjunctivitis, because
Okay.
even when you go to a pharmacy and you just tell them your eyes are red and my eyes already scratch me, that's the very common
Yeah.
thing. And then they'll ask you, I don't know about pharmacies, but they'll ask you follow-up questions and stuff. They'll just give you the very popular ones that they
Yeah.
prescribe. And then when it doesn't subside, you see someone coming in and saying, I went there, they gave me this, and you already know what they are bringing out, so.
Yeah, yeah. So, in your experience in dealing with patients with conjunctivitis,
Yeah.
Treating conjunctivitis, bacterial conjunctivitis is the most common.
Yeah, I would say it's the most. After that is allergic, the
Okay.
one sometimes for allergic you have to look at what it is you're actually allergic to. If it's not
Okay.
what you're eating, maybe your environment and stuff.
Maybe change of water, maybe.
A,
as well.
a couple of things, yeah.
Do you have any memorable experience dealing with conjunctivitis in particular that you can share with us?
I don't really have. Well, okay, yes, maybe.
Yes, please.
Okay, so there was this person that came in one day and he was I can't open my eyes. That was when
Right.
I told you he has spread to maybe the cornea and he couldn't, it was
got really
red.
bad,
Yes,
yeah.
So usually when it's like that, it's good to do a follow-up just to be sure that your regimen is working. If not, maybe you treat with something stronger and faster, I can't open my eyes, it's painful, even to do a normal examination on the machine was war.
Wow.
So, okay, fine. We gave, we treated this person with home remedy as well, and then even with drugs. And he was supposed to come back in like 5 days. Baba didn't come back in 5 days.
That's right.
Baba didn't come back in 5 days. Baba came back in like a week, and he was
Wow.
like giving you the I'm already fine. What am I coming back for? I said, it's not your fault. When you came here, you were doing as if, So stuff like
And
that.
that's just a message that, as small as conjunctivitis may be, you need to treat it properly,
Yeah.
essentially, right? Now, let's talk about treatment, right? So you've been saying, you've been talking about home remedies.
Yeah.
What are some home remedies that people can actually do at home?
See, it's just very simple. When you just be a little bit cleaner, it can go a long way.
Wow.
Yeah. So when we notice people who are tearing, bringing out water, or have this pus coming out from the eyes, we don't ask them to use tissue. Hanky. You use tissue. So that when you clean, or when you clean the tears or clean the pus, you dispose. So if you're repeating, if you're using the tissue and you're folding and cleaning, you're sort of recycling it. So you have to dispose. So that's one of the ways,
Yeah.
So usually if you just say, okay, give, if it's something that, okay, I need something for this, I need something. Sometimes when you tell the patient, okay, give it antibiotics, and then you just give antibiotics, and then you tell them, go home, use a very clean cloth, use cold or warm water, and clean your eyes, and just, you know, around the areas. Within a day or even 2 days, they are better.
Okay. Now I
Yeah.
want to check. So I want to check a myth. I want to check if the myth is actually true. So there's a thing people usually say that when you eat carrots, you get better vision. And
Okay.
is that the truth
Well,
in that?
Carrot is high in antioxidants,
Okay.
as well as some other vegetables.
Okay.
Yes, so it might not be wrong to say when you eat carrots, you see clearer. I don't know what to say,
Okay.
because it's very rich in stuff that are good for the eyes.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Are there meals, or is there a diet a person dealing with conjunctivitis can maybe?
Nah.
There's no particular
there's no
fruit
particular
or
diet.
protein or something like this.
No, there's
Okay.
nothing.
All right. Okay. So as we conclude this interview on conjunctivitis, I would like you to, encourage hygiene.
Yeah.
Better hygiene.
Okay.
For people out there, so that they do not actually contract conjunctivitis. So that is your camera. You
Okay.
can look in and advise the people of the public.
Well,
watching
I
this
do. Well, I think we've said everything here today. So it's very good when you notice that an eye condition that is not normal with you is staying or extending for a day or two. So it's just good to get it looked at, okay? And I want to encourage everybody, leave the whole, besides the whole coronavirus thing and stuff, just wash your hands. You don't have to, say it's because of corona and stuff like that. Be as clean as possible. Change your clothes when you can, and as regularly as possible, and stuff like that.
Dr. Chidinma Ogu, thank you very much for joining us in the studio this morning. When we come back, when we call you back, you have to come home.
God's grace.
You teach us how to wear contact lenses properly.
Hey.
Next time.
I mean, we want to wear contact lenses.
Well, you never know.
Oh, okay.
All right, so that is the conversation on conjunctivitis on tea or coffee this morning with Dr. Chidinma.